T-Man978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man978 reviewing Transformers Masterpiece MP-11NR Destron New Jetron Warrior Ramjet, which means Decepticon New Seeker Warrior. Here's the side of the packaging. Of course, this is very reflective. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. And here's the back, showing you a bunch of stuff that I'm basically going to show you in the review. So let's not waste time. Inside, he doesn't come packaged with many accessories, but here's his collector's card. It's a little bit more thick than and better print quality than that original MP Starscream that I reviewed yesterday or previously. You also get an instruction booklet. Unfortunately, this instruction booklet is just straight to the point. You get this picture right here, which isn't even really accurate. These legs are from the other Seeker mold, the MP-11 mold, so they didn't even really redraw a lot. They just added some extra things like the wings, and took off Starscream's wings and added the new head. But other than that, they basically didn't change much. But inside is just regular instructions. There's no extras like pictures of him on the cartoon or anything like that. Get a black and white picture of the jet mode, black and white picture of the robot mode. At least you do get color pictures in most of the other instruction manuals. He comes with this translucent holographic pilot who is made in the same smoky, transparent, or translucent plastic as his cockpit. Here is Ramjet himself, and he has a couple of more accessories, but since officially they tell you that these missile pods are supposed to go on these little wing flaps on his back, I figured I'd just show him off here instead of wasting time. And I don't really like this, so that's not going to stay there too long. And of course he has these laser arm cannons right here, which are technically a part of his body, so I figured I didn't have to mention them. Anyway, I was so impressed with this out of packaging. In pictures and reviews, I haven't been, but in person and in hand, I really, really like him, and I'm really satisfied. I really feel like this is a masterpiece and not just a retool. I feel like this is its own special thing. Like, this is Ramjet from the G1 cartoon, and I love it. Of course, he's a little bit more detailed than the G1 cartoon, thankfully, because they didn't have a lot of technical details and whatnot. But it's great and awesome. I love these white feet. The white feet is what make them definitely a cartoon accurate Ramjet. But anyway, what I like to do is take these off. And if anything I'm not satisfied with, or scares me really, I'm not going to say not satisfied with, these wings. Anything involving bending the wings for their transformation or bending these back. Like, bending the back is cool, but when you bend it forward, I don't know if you can see that. That scares the crap out of me. So you definitely have to make sure you're careful, like applying pressure and bending it a certain type of way. But you see this hanging off, that's the official way. That's all in the way, and it's just gets in the way of things you might want to do. Like if you want to bend this back, you'll have to worry about things bumping. And if you keep these on, you'll definitely have to worry about them bumping. So what's not in the instructions, but what it can do, and when you bend this back out, that's when you have to worry. Try to be careful. They still have this little wing peg right there that all the other Seekers have. If you want to get at it better, slide these wings on his legs down. They're going to need to be out of the way. Maybe even kick his hips forward. But swing this way. Bring that out. Go ahead and move his arms. And rotate this around. And back up on his back and peg the wings in. Go ahead and peg that in. then you could just go ahead and bring us back. Unfortunately, due to the design change, this cannot collapse inside of the cockpit area, so it just basically has to hang out. And this doesn't peg in at all, even though they still have that peg right there. So you could put it like this. If you want it, the wings flush back like that, you'll have to worry about this little die-cast bar. But if you want it straight like that, the wings won't be able to shut all the way, if you can see what I'm saying. But anyway, I like that a lot better. They get out of the way, and it makes his body look a little bit more slim. Now, you may have heard rattling when I was moving him around. A friend of mine said he doesn't like that you can't store the pilot in robot mode. And what I suggested is he has a big hollow cavity right there. Put him in there if you want to store him and keep everything together, because the pilot is that important to you. You don't want to leave him in the packaging. But anyway, here's a nice new head sculpt. I really love it. A lot of people were complaining about being able to see the back of, or the top of the cockpit on the back of the head. In person, to me, it did bug me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But in person, it doesn't bother me at all. He looks great. And I don't think I mentioned this. He feels way heavier to me than the other Seekers. It could be in my mind, but yeah, he definitely feels heavier than Starscream. It feels like he has either stronger die-cast or more die-cast. And what's die-cast? This whole black inner frame right there, his waist joint, which you won't be able to see, like all that, it's painted black. And the bar that connects to this is all die-cast. But he is definitely nice. I really, really like him. If there's any QC issues, you can see mold flash on these missile pods. On the pilot, I can see mold flash like on his shoulders. And for some reason, this little port right here that holds Starscream's cape is very loose. I guess I could fix that by tightening, screwing it tighter, or putting some floor polish in there or something like that. But other weird things, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. The coat of white paint right there is thicker than on this side. But on this side, it looks like they went in on the details with a pencil or whatever. So that side, to me, looks a little bit better than this side. One thing, too, before I forget, I've been noticing in certain people's reviews, they don't realize this. Toys R Us Starscream and this guy came with the fingers reversed on the ball joint. So the fingers are bent, like turned this way. And I've seen a review where people bend the fingers and actually bend it backwards. Notice that it can't bend in this way, and they just leave it that way. But that's something to pay attention to. The fingers are probably going to be reversed on yours, so if you actually want them to bend and fold naturally like real fingers, switch the fingers around. Just like my Toys R Us Starscream, they improved the stability and connection. Like, you can't do this with the older molds, like grab him right here on his shoulder piece and shake him without everything unhinging. It takes some real force, like I'm pulling to unhinge that. But it will tend to sit like this. And I got lucky. You'll see in the transformation, I didn't get the messed up shoulders. Everything works very fine. Another improvement, these pieces right here of his crotch plate are different. So it seems like his legs can kick higher up to me, like he almost can kick completely straight up. The other ones don't seem to be able to do that to me. I love the way I was worried as crap that if they did the cone heads, how are they going to do the knee pads? And I think that came out well. All the articulation is the same as the other figures, and I'm going to link my Toys R Us Starscream again to this video so you can see. So only other noteworthy articulation besides the hips. The head can't really look down, but it can look up about that much. I mean, if you make it unhinged, you can make it look down a little bit more, but of course that would be weird. The waist joint still turns about that much, and I love the way they redesigned the cockpit so it doesn't look as sloppy as the other Seekers. But pretty much all the other articulation, well, all the other articulation is exactly the same. His hips can go out that far, just to let you see. But let me do some comparisons and then go to transformation. Here he is next to Starscream, and there hasn't been a ton of new tooling. The whole cockpit, the way that transforms, is totally new, and of course the head. Most of the leg is exactly the same, but they remolded the shin right here, as you can see. Like, so that probably took a lot of work, and of course he has this extra knee pad right there. But this part is exactly the same. The crotch parts are different. Like I said, they are different molding. The actual middle part is the same. But besides the wings being added and the wings being changed here, it's pretty much the same toy. I mean, there is a lot added, but if you have a Seeker already, you know what to expect with this. Just for giggles, here he is next to the original MP3 mold, which pretty much only thing that he has in common with this. The shoulders look the same, but this has some extra padding on the back. The chest parts are the same. The thighs are the same, but the crotch is different. The entire crotch. The hands are the same. And I don't know how they did this, but a lot of the forearm looks the same, but it doesn't have the extra stuff. And of course he doesn't have these hanging off and whatnot. But yeah, that's enough of that. Transformation. Due to me being unofficial with the transformation, I have a few extra steps. Open the cockpit up. Push this forward. And before we get to transformation, he does still have the cluster bombs right there, which are painted silver. Once you peg the legs together, you're pretty much done. But there's another step. Bring these out like this, rotate it on the ball joint, and then you can either put the laser rifles here and leave it like that. And plugging in the laser rifles helps rotate that around, helps the wing stay, the bottom half of the wing stay connected to the upper half, which is not ideal. In fact, you have to point them outward like this. So you could have a jet like this, and he does look nice, but what you're really supposed to do is grab those missile pods from earlier, and basically, to tell which one is which, the peg has to be up and it has to have an opening to fit this laser rifle in. Pull that apart, slide that in. Now slide this over, oh, come on, until it covers the peg and squeeze it together. Now go ahead and peg it into the wing. And these missile parts can go straight as you can see, and they keep the wing in place. Now we have both missile pods in, and this is Masterpiece Ramjet the way he's supposed to look. And I think that's really cool in my opinion. He now has 6 thrusters, which is awesome. He has the same gimmicks as the other jets. You can lift these up. You can lift this up, the air brake. You can bend these forward if you want to. He does lose some gimmicks because these wings don't bend right there. But there's that. Of course, you can open up the cockpit. The cockpit looks like that now, which is better than the originals to me. And you can put your holographic pilot in here, who doesn't sit flush in there. So, outside of that, he still has the exact same molding for the landing gear. They tightened this up, which I like. And this is gonna bug the crap out of me. I gotta fix that. And you can pull this down, which was extremely tight when I first opened this. And now he has landing gear and he can roll. And why I like that they fixed that, because usually when you roll one of these back, the landing gear will automatically flip up, which used to be annoying. Here's a jet mode comparison. Ramjet's wings give him the false illusion that he's a bigger jet. I mean, he is more bulky. I would say his thrusters and accessories, these missile pods, make him a little bit more heavy, but pretty much jets are the same thing. Of course, the landing gear looks different. The way the cockpits open and the way the cockpits look are different. I already showed that off. Of course, you have this little gappage right there where the Decepticon symbol is, and he does have a small Decepticon symbol. Here's this right here. And before I forget, because I didn't show it off, the radar dish right here is silver on the inside, and he does still have that. You can kind of see his fake cone head under there peeking out. Lastly, although he doesn't come with his own, he does still fit on the flight stand, as you can see, the exact same way. The landing gear does not get in the way. Finally, to show this off, he is still compatible with the flight stand in robot mode. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with one, which makes me want to bring up a problem. I love this guy. I love him in robot mode. I love his robot mode. He seems to be a little bit more posable in the legs than the other Seekers, which I really like. I like his jet mode, and I like that they went the extra miles of putting the new wings and new molding into this, and even new engineering. But the price point is my problem. It's a Takara Tomy mall exclusive. I heard that there's some type of store in Japan that's owned by Takara or something like that. I just heard that on another review. But as a result of that, the thing is way more than it should be. These things in the US, Starscream went for $60 at Toys R Us. Typically, import toys are $20 to $30 more, and this is freaking like $100 more than that. But unfortunately, if you want this character, you want this mold, you want this toy, they got you by the balls, because we have no clue what Hasbro is going to do. And if Hasbro releases it, they'll probably give it some type of imperfection, like make him have all black feet, which is inaccurate to the cartoon. They'll probably give him some type of weird design on the wings or some other crazy business. Or they might bring it out looking exactly like this. I seriously doubt that, but if you want a guaranteed figure that's out and available right now, you have no choice but to pay that price. And I don't know if you noticed this, Hasbro is lagging behind on releasing Masterpiece figures horribly now. There are so many figures they haven't released yet. So if you want it, you better get it, because This guy's already going for $300 on eBay, and he's not even sold out yet. Anyway, it's up to you to make that decision. But I hope you liked this review, and if you did like it, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you can see my future reviews. Comment, share, Tman978, out of here.